The architecture of a city is its hallmark. Today on Facts in Box, we want to introduce you to some very unusual buildings. The designers of these structures break all architectural stereotypes. Here are 8 of the most incredible structures in the world. Lotus Temple, India. This is the main Baha'i temple of India and neighboring countries. It was built in 1986 in the city of New Delhi, the capital of India. A huge building made of snow-white Pentelian marble in the shape of a blooming lotus flower is one of Delhi's most popular tourist attractions. It's widely known as the main temple of the Indian subcontinent and the main attraction of the city. Construction began near New Delhi in 1978 and was completed on December 22, 1986. The central hall has a diameter of 75 meters, a height of 31 meters, and has 1,300 seats. Architect Fari Saba, a Canadian of Iranian descent, was inspired by the world-famous Sydney Opera House. The Lotus Temple has won several architectural awards and has been mentioned in many newspaper and magazine articles. Like all Baha'i temples, the Lotus Temple is open to people of all faiths. The Baha'i teachings state that the soul of the temple is where people of all faiths can worship God without confessional restrictions. Guggenheim Museum, Bilbao, Spain. Designed by American architect Frank Gehry, the Guggenheim Museum is a great example of the most innovative 20th century architecture ideas. Made of titanium, it is adorned with wavy lines that change colors under the sun. The total area of the structure is 24,000 square meters, 11,000 of which are dedicated to exhibitions. The Guggenheim Museum is a true architectural landmark and an example of a daring configuration and innovative design that provides a seductive backdrop for the works of art displayed within it. This building has changed the world's view of modern architecture and museums and has become a symbol of the revival of the industrial city of Bilbao. Habitat 67, Canada. This unusual residential complex in Montreal was designed by architect Moshe Safdie in 1966 and 1967. The complex was built at the beginning of the Expo 67 exhibition, one of the largest world exhibitions of the time. The theme of the exhibition was houses and residential constructions. The base of the structure is 354 cubic meters, stacked on top of each other. It was this exhibition that made it possible to create this gray building with 146 apartments. The many families who live here exchanged a quiet house in a residential area for a very non-standard house. Most of the apartments on the roof have a private garden. Habitat 67 consists of 3 buildings with 3 elevator shafts. The floors are connected not only vertically, but also horizontally due to the developed system of external transitions. This is an important feature of residential development in the 1960s. The public space inside the house acts as a continuation of the street, where there is closer communication with neighbors. This construction style is called brutalism. Habitat 67 was erected more than 45 years ago, but its scale is still truly admirable. This is, without a doubt, one of the few modern utopias that not only came to life, but also became very popular and is even recognized as elite. Stone House, Portugal. The stone house, Casa do Penedo, in the mountains of Portugal, erected between 4 boulders, resembles a Stone Age dwelling. The hut, which was located on the outskirts, was built in 1974 by Vitor Rodrigues and was intended to be a holiday home away from the hustle and bustle of the city. The desire for simplicity did not make hermits of the Rodrigues family, but brought them closer to a natural way of life without excess. The house has no electricity. Instead, candles are used to illuminate the house. The house is heated using a fireplace cut out of one of the boulders. The stone walls are a continuation of the interior. Even the steps leading to the second floor are hollowed out directly in the stone. The stone hut, reminiscent of the home of the characters in the classic American cartoon series Flintstones, so organically fit into the surrounding landscape that it caused great interest among architects and tourists. The curiosity of the locals and passing travelers forced the Rodrigues family to leave the house. Now, no one lives in the hut, but the owners sometimes visit their unusual home. Only in this case would it be possible to venture inside the strange house. Any other time, getting inside Casa do Penedo is impossible. Kansas City Public Library, USA. Located in the heart of Kansas City, this is one of the first projects aimed at restoring the city to its historical and touristic value. Residents were invited to recall the most famous books which are somehow connected to the name Kansas City. Within 2 years, they had selected 20 artful books. The appearance of these publications was included in the innovative design of the public library to stimulate visits. The library building looks like a giant bookshelf on which there are, naturally, giant books. Each of them reaches 7 meters in height and about 2 meters in width. Now, the library has not only the most modern technologies and excellent quality of service, but also conference rooms, cafes, a viewing room, and much more. Kunsthaus Graz, Austria. This museum gallery of contemporary art was opened as part of the Cultural Capital of Europe program in 2003. The concept of the building was developed by London architects Peter Cook and Colin Fournier. It was united using BIX technology as a media installation with an area of 900 square meters. The building has luminous elements scattered throughout that can be programmed using a computer. It allows the museum to communicate with the surrounding urban space. The base of the building is made of reinforced concrete. The outer shell is made of bluish plastic panels. The interior, according to Colin Fournier, should resemble a black box magician. The building was built in blob style, sharply contrasting with the surrounding buildings. The contrast of the biomorphic structure of Kunsthaus with the old clock tower is a kind of dialogue between tradition and the avant-garde. The museum has become one of the symbols of the city. Both functionality and urban planning were taken into account when designing this unique building. The museum became a bridge between the past and the future. Coin Building, China. In the Chinese city of Guangzhou, there's a unique building in the form of a huge disc with a hole inside. It will house the Guangdong Plastics Exchange. As of now, the final cosmetic work is being finished. The building is 33 floors high and 138 meters wide. It has a hole with a diameter of almost 50 meters, which has functional value, not just design value. Around it will be a huge shopping mall. The fact that the building has already become one of the main attractions of Guangdong province is obvious. However, opinions about its symbolic meaning were divided. The Italian company that developed the project claims that the form was based on jade discs owned by ancient Chinese rulers and nobility. They symbolize the high moral qualities of man. In addition, together with its reflection in the Pearl River, on which the building stands, it forms the number 8. In Chinese culture, the number 8 brings good luck and wealth. However, many citizens of Guangzhou saw a Chinese coin in this building, symbolizing the desire for material wealth, and the people have already called this building the Disc of the Wasteful Rich. Thin House, UK. An unusual residential building known as the Thin House is located near London's Natural History Museum. This house became famous all over the world thanks to its wedge-like shape. Or rather, the width of one of the sides of the building, which is only a little more than a meter wide. At first glance, the incredibly narrow structure of the building is just an optical illusion. Despite this, the Thin House has become very popular with Londoners and tourists. The reason for this architectural idea is not accidental. Right behind the house is the South Kensington subway station. Due to the unusual design of the house, the apartments don't have a standard rectangular shape, but a trapezoidal shape. For narrow rooms, it's necessary to select non-standard furniture. In any case, despite a number of shortcomings, apartments in a thin building are very popular among those who want to get new housing. Which of these architectural marvels did you find the most intriguing? Have you ever visited one of these buildings? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new video. Till next time on Facts in Box.